देवा जय गुरुदेवा
नमयो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिने नमः। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशत। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय निताय गौर सुंदर जय निताय गौर सुंदर निताय गौर सुंदर जय निताय गौर सुंदर। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। की जय जय गौरचाँदेर आरती कर शोभा की जय की जय गौरचाँदेर आरती कर शोभा की जय ओ जय गौरचाँदेर जानवी तट बने जग मनल भाजा जग जानेर मानालो भार जग जान जग जाने मानालो भार जग जान হরির গৌরাঙ্গেরা আরতি শোভার জগজনের মানালো ভার গৌরাঙ্গেরা আরতি হে জানাবি তটবনে জগজনের মানালো ভারের জানাবি তটবনে জানাবি তটবনে জগজনের মানালো ভার জানাবি হে গৌরাঙ্গের আরতি শোভার জগজ্জনের মানল ভার গৌরাঙ্গের আরতি হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল বাহু কোটি চন্দ্র যিনি দাক্ষিণী নিতাই চান পামে গদাধার দাক্ষিণী নিতাই চান মিকাটয়া দৈতা শ্রেণী বস ছত্রধারণিকা কি বসি আছে গৌরাচান রত্ন সিংহাসনে বসি আরতি করে না ব্রহ্ম আদিদেব গণে আর গৌরারতি করে না ব্রহ্ম আদিদেব গণে আর কিব নর হরি আদি করি চামর ঢোলায় নর হরি আদি সঞ্জয় মুকুন্দ বাসু ঘোষায়দি গায় কিব শঙ্কর বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে বাজে করতাল বাজে মধুরা মৃদঙ্গ বাজে পরম রসাল মধু মধুরা মৃদঙ্গ বাজে পরম রসাল ও ও মধুর 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 বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে এ গৌরাঙ্গের আরতি শোভা জগজানের মানাল ভার গৌরাঙ্গের আরতি শোভা গৌরাঙ্গের আরতি কালে মধুর 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 বাজে মধুর মধুর বলো শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্টা বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল বাহু কোটি চন্দ্র জিনি বদন উজালা আরের গলা দেশে বনমল করে ঝলমালা গলা রে শিব শিব সুখ নারদ প্রেম গদ গদ শিব নারদ প্রেমে ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ দেখে গৌরার সম্পাদ ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ দেখে গৌরার সম্পাদ ভক্ত কি বাজায় ও জয় গৌরা চাঁদে আরতি শোভা ও জাহ্নবী তটবনে জগমনলো ভাজা ও হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল জয় সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি Prabhu Nityananda, Prabhu Nityananda, Nityananda, Prabhu Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Nitai, Nitai, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai. Jai Jagannath Swami. Bolo Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Oh Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Bolo Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Oh Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Bolo Jashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Bolo Jashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. O Jamuna Tiravanachari. Bolo Jamuna Tiravanachari. Bolo Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Kunja Bihari. Bolo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Oh Bolo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Double, double. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar, Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar. Gaura hai, Gaura hai, Gaura hai, Gaura hai, Gaura hai. Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya, Jai Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. परमत परवराज रष्टोदशी दिवस हे दीवार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज के जय ओम नित्य लीला प्रसिद्ध भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद महाराज के जय गौर किशोदा बाबा के महाराज के जय सच्चिदानंद भक्ति मनोहर ठाकुर के जय गुरु परंपरा के जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद के जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर के जय प्रेम से गो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासि गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोधन के जय श्री नवदीप महाप्रधाम के जय मथुरा श्री द्वारका अयोध्या धाम के जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम के जय भगवान जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी श्री सुदर्शन चक्र के जय श्री श्री राधा माधव जी के जय गिरी गोविंद गिरिराज महाराज की जय निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय गुरुनाथ की जय गंगा माँ यमुना माई की जय वृंद दे भक्त देव के जय समग्र भक्त वृंद के जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के जय इस्कॉन बाल्टीमोर यात्रा के जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरि बोल ऑल ग्लोरीज assembled duties हरे All glory to Summit Devotee, Hare Krishna. All glory to Summit Devotee, Hare Krishna. All glory, all Shri Shri Guru Gauranga, Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya. Valhada lada dahine valhada Hiranyakashe Purvakshayan Shilatankana Kalaye. Chant Hare wo gaye. To Nasimha para to Nasimha. Hare bol. Yato yato yamita to Nasimha. Bahe Nasimha Radhaye Nasimha. Bahe Nasimha Radhaye Nasimha. Bahe Nasimha Radhaye Narasimha Madi Sharana Prapade. Narasimha Madi Sharana Prapade. Kavakara Kamala Bari Nakham Adbhuta Singha Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Bhare Jai Jagadisha Bhare Jai Jagadisha Re Kamala Bhare Kamadavota Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Keshavadhita Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhita Jaya Nasimhadev, Jaya Nasimhadev, Nasimhadev, Jaya Nasimhadev, Nasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Sarva Vinasan Lakshmi Bhagwan Ke Prahlad Maharaj ki jai ho.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we welcome everyone to ISKCON Baltimore, the abode of Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai, and the most beautiful Shri Radha Madhav. Haribol. Would like to thank you as anybody. Is anyone coming for the first time? Aha, welcome. That's Jagannath Mishra Prabhu, right? Jagannath Mishra Prabhu. He just got initiated today. He's great. Haribol, loud Haribol for him. We pray to Radha Madhav, Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai. to have you progress in Krishna consciousness, follow Prabhupada and your Gurudev. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Anyone else coming first time here? No? Perfect. Okay, we'd like to first thank you, the pujaris, for dressing DT so beautifully. We can loud Haribol for them, please. Haribol. So today's feast is cooked by Premdam Prabhu and Shyam Bhakti Mataji. Haribol. And also they are sponsoring for Keshav's birthday. Where is Keshav? He's hiding right there. So what do? Garland. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to Keshav. Hare Krishna to you. Haribol. Keshav is a wonderful kid in part of Sunday school and is homeschooled by his parents. Now I think he's going to school, but he's been homeschooled so far. And the whole family is wonderful Vaishnavas. Thank you, so Keshav. So today, it's a very wonderful day. It's an honor, actually, that a wonderful devotee, all the from Florida, has come here. He's not unknown to this area because he was at one time a temple president in the old temple here also. His name is His Grace Kalakantha Prabhu. Haribol! Prabhuji, please. So Kalakantha Prabhuji, everybody knows, all the old comer who are there. And he was telling in 1980 he was a temple president, of the old temple for that. And then he went from here, Delaware, to open another center there. More than 50 years of Krishna consciousness there. Since 72, at the age of 18, he joined the movement itself. After that, he traveled different places, became temple presidents, but his main focus, main strength was he loved to do congregation development. So then he started, it's called North America Congregational West Movement, because he saw that initially everyone was in the temple, but as time progressed, everyone moving out. So it's most important to preach through congregation development. He took that and as a temple president consultant and helped many temples develop this congregation development for that. He served as editor for Back to Godhead magazine, one of the most prized possessions here. Secretary for ISKCON GBC for that one. But for the last several months, 15, 20 years, he's doing something which is very, very, I think Prabhupada is very, very happy. Improve the Western preaching here, because as time passed by, the Western preaching was going down. So he became a very innovative idea. It's called Krishna House. What Krishna House is called Western Congregation Development Preaching Program, where all the many Westerners come, and Prabhu, with loving attention, has developed in Gainesville a very prized community. I heard that, I saw the pictures, where all the previous alumni came together, like 50 or 60 of them, and they were there, and they are all wonderful devotees spread out different parts of the country. Prabhuji was very kind enough to come here. We have a Krishna house. We bought a house. Technically, Krishna house very soon. But Prabhuji's mercy, he's going to come and guide us. He also written many, many books. The most recent book is How to Develop a Krishna House. And it's a very wonderful book for anybody who likes to preach for that. Then also, I think Prabhu has written a Bhagavad Gita, the song Divine, and a God who dances also. So many, he's very, very educated, very wonderful. And above all, he's also initiating spiritual master. And many, disciples have just taken shelter and made their life successful. So without taking too much time, His Grace Kalakantha Prabhu. Haribol!
Thank you very much. So good to be here. When I left Baltimore, the temple room was the size of the deity room. So you have expanded things a bit. Thank you. Do we usually begin with a little kirtan, or okay? We have a harmonium. Is it? Sure. It's okay. Just laptop. Laptop. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Bala Bhagiri Varadhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Bala Bhagiri Varadhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tiram Vanachari. Jamuna Tiram Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Bala Bhagiri Varadhari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanandi Haribo. Hare Krishna. So, as an old man, I'm often asked, did I get to see Srila Prabhupada? So I just wanted to, by way of introduction, say yes, I did have that opportunity to see His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, about 50 times as a young man, and seeing him giving classes and morning walks and some darshans, and I got to serve him lunch personally one time. That was all very exciting, but what he was actually interested in is the service. And that is my lesson from Srila Prabhupada's association, is that the order of the spiritual master far exceeds the importance of the physical association of the spiritual master. But nonetheless, because I am an old fossil and relic, I did want to share that with you. And in these years in Krishna consciousness, it has been my pleasure to associate with many wonderful followers of Srila Prabhupada, many disciples, engaged in many projects. And the essential lesson I have learned is that the race goes to the tortoise, not the hare. In other words, if we can somehow just persist in our spiritual practice, we will be able to maintain a happy life in spiritual consciousness. Krishna does not promise us an ocean with no storms, but He does promise us a vessel that cannot be sunk. So that is the great gift that Srila Prabhupada has given to us all. So we talk about many subjects, but I wanted to just ask, are there any questions or any particular topics that anyone would like to discuss this evening? Anything on your mind? Any philosophical questions? Any questions about ISKCON, about Srila Prabhupada, about chanting? Who here chants japa regularly? Most of us, okay. So how do you deal with the mind, things like that? What would you like to discuss this evening? I'm just opening the floor. How can we control our mind to increase our bhakti? It's not possible. Next question. So yes, in the Gita, of course, Krishna explains that the mind can be the best friend or the worst enemy. So how do we make friends with the mind? This is a really important aspect of understanding this question, because how we deal with the inevitable mental disturbances that arise when we try to meditate, when you try to chant, is crucial in making friends with the mind. If somebody comes and bothers you and you tell them, go away, are you making friends with that person? No. So this is why we read, for example, Govinda Das says, my dear mind, Bhaju Hare Mana. Please worship Govinda. We can look at the story of Haridas Thakur, who was, of course, this great acharya of chanting, who would just sit and chant for hours and hours every day. So because he was from a Muslim family, the local Muslim magistrate was upset. Here is a Muslim becoming a Vaishnava. That is not acceptable. So he recruited a local prostitute. Go and go and seduce this man, and I'll have my constable standing nearby, and he will catch you, and then he'll be discredited. So the prostitute agreed, and so she went to Haridas in the dead of night and said to him, you are a most handsome young man and the flower of youth. My mind is overwhelmed with attraction for you. Won't you please fulfill my desires? To which Haridas said, now he could have said many things, right? He could have said, go away, leave me alone. He could have said, he could have been very mean to her and just dismissed her. But what did he say? He said, yes, please be seated. I will certainly attend to you as soon as I have finished my vow for chanting. And so she sat, and he continued chanting through the night. But then the sun was rising, and he said, and she realized, now my cover of darkness is over. Now I have to go. And he apologized. I'm so sorry I couldn't get to you. I just had to finish these rounds I had promised to chant. But certainly if you come tonight I will fulfill your desires. So she went back and reported to the magistrate and assured him, no, tonight for sure. So again, she returned that night, and he was chanting, and he said, thank you for coming back. Please wait here. It's coming on the end of the month. I have this vow to chant so many rounds before that. So please just be patient and bear with me while I finish my chanting. Then I shall certainly fulfill all your desires. And so again, she sat patiently through the night. And at the end of the night, again, he apologized. I'm so sorry. I couldn't quite finish. Tonight, for sure, I will fulfill all your desires. So again, she returned. But this time, as he was chanting, she began chanting also. And she began thinking how I'm so very fallen. Here I is, this great saint, and I'm here to corrupt him. So she confessed. The magistrate has sent me. He said, I know that. I know that. But I invited you here so you could be purified. So now you have recognized the glories of the holy name of Krishna. So you please just stay here and chant. And go and sell all your possessions, give in charity to the Brahmins, and then come here and I'll arrange for all of your maintenance. So she did that. So she came, shaved her head, sat and began chanting. And he left, and she just stayed there, worshiped the Tulsi under his instructions, and she became a great saint in the village, and everyone was astonished. So this is how we deal with the mind. If we fight the mind, then it won't become our friend, will it? So we have to say, my dear mind, please be seated. And whatever it is you're asking, I will certainly get to you as soon as I finish my chanting. If we fight the mind, then we are actually surrendering to the mind, you see? We have distracted our attention from the holy name to the disturbances of the mind. Just like a neglected child will misbehave because negative attention is better than no attention, right? So in the same way, the mind is trying to get us to pay attention, even by disturbing thoughts. So, my dear mind, please be patient. Please have a seat. I will certainly get to you, whatever it is that you desire, just as soon as I finish chanting. Some years ago in Mayapur, there was a devotee entertaining all of the guests. And he was a Russian devotee who spoke no English, but his previous engagement was in the Russian army as an entertainer. So he put on a one-man play about the mind without any English, without any speech. It was all pantomime. And so playing all the characters, he told the story of a man who's a materialist, but then he meets a devotee, and he starts chanting, and he becomes a devotee, but then his mind is very upset about it. He's playing each of the characters one after the next. And the mind is persuading him, but then he's saying, no, I'm going to stick with the chanting. And, no, but the mind's pulling him. No, I'm sticking with the chanting. In the last scene, he comes out as the mind. He trudges out in a dhoti. So this is how we make friends with the mind. It has to atrophy, in other words. Whenever we're chanting, the mind is going to India or running all over the creation. So let's say we broke an arm. Okay? So would that mean we'd have to stop all of our devotional service? No, it would be limited, but we could continue, right? So we have a broken mind. It is bothering. It is going on and on and on, not paying attention. Still, we can go on with our service. For example, in chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, at the end of chapter 2, Krishna gives this beautiful analogy that the river of desire, let me see if I can find that real quick. He talks about this river of desire, which is always flowing. Let's see. Well, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the person who strives to satisfy such desires. So the river of desires will just keep flowing, but the devotee is like the ocean, and that just the desires flow in, but the ocean stays at its limits. See? So wherever the mind is wandering, due to its restless and unsteady nature, we bring it under control of the self by just observing it. Yes, my mind is disturbed. Yes, my mind is going to India and back as I'm chanting. Yes, Krishna, this is what I have this morning. Here I am chanting your name. My mind is all over. Anyway, you have promised that you will accept the sincere devotee, so please accept my sincere chanting, in spite of my mind being like a broken arm, in spite of my handicap. There was a story of Sanatana Goswami, one of Lord Chaitanya's great devotees, who was very poor. And all he had to offer to his little deity of Madan Mohan was some dry chapatis, no ghee and no salt. He just had a little flour and water. He would make the chapati. And so one day Madan Mohan said, could you please at least give me some salt? So that's the whole story. The salt merchant's barge got stuck on the Jamuna, and Sanatan helped him get it free, and then he gave all the proceeds, and he built the temple, so that's a whole other story. But the point of this story is that whatever Sanatan had to offer, he offered. So whatever we have on a given day, when we're chanting, we're offering some service to Krishna, we have what we have to offer. Sanatan said, what can I do? This is all I have. So if the mind is disturbed, say, Krishna, here I am chanting with a disturbed mind. What can I do? You please accept. You see. If we try to repress the mind, stop thinking of this, concentrate on it, then we're just buying into the mind's demands. Like aversion and attraction are flip sides of the same coin, right? So we may be averse to the mind's demands, but that's just the same as being attracted to the mind's demands. One way or another, we're paying attention. So we just have to accept, here I am in my imperfect condition. Krishna, please accept me. You have to accept me because I'm giving everything I can to you, even though I'm very limited by this rascal mind. Is that all right? It's, in a word, it's self-acceptance. All right. Other thoughts, other questions on this or any other subject? Any thoughts on this? Yes, Parbhuji. How can we work to becoming really humble and utilizing that mood in Krishna consciousness? It's a beautiful question. This is one of the conundrums of spiritual life, that as soon as we make advancement, we think, hey, I'm doing pretty well. And so how do we deal with this tendency to be proud of our advancement? First, we have to remember this analogy, okay, that the sun is so powerful that it can extract pure distilled water even from a puddle of urine. The sun is that powerful. Whatever contaminations are there, it is the sun that extracts and draws out the best. So in the same way, keeping in the sunshine of Krishna consciousness draws out the best in us. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunayar tatra samasate sura. That one who is bhagavat akinchana, that has nothing, one who has nothing to do except to please Krishna. In that person, all the good qualities develop. So we understand that whatever we are, Krishna makes us that. If we are offering ourselves in Krishna's service, then we're giving Krishna that opportunity to purify us and bring out the best of us, the good qualities. So to work for developing good qualities is a bit of a misnomer, you see, because our work is to please Krishna. And by trying to please Krishna exclusively, the good qualities develop. We don't have to endeavor separately for them. We can recognize them. We can recognize that just by putting my GPS on pleasing Krishna, I'm being nicer to people. I am being more tolerant. I am being steadier in my life. So humility is not to think less of oneself, but rather to think of oneself less. If our mind is focused on Krishna, we're not worried about how humble I am or not. You see? We have faith that Krishna will bring out the best in me. So just keeping our focus on trying to please Krishna, this is the way to develop humility. Because that in and of itself is humble, is it not? Instead of trying to please myself, instead of trying to put myself at the center, I'm trying to please Krishna. Like how many puffed up people does it take to put in a light bulb? Just one. And then the whole world revolves around them. You see? So shifting our consciousness from self-consciousness to Krishna consciousness. This is the path of bhakti. And by that, humility and all good qualities manifest on their own. This is called anartha nivritti, where the unwanted things diminish and the desirable things then have room to enter into our lives in their place. Is that all right?
Does that open our hearts to spread Krishna consciousness and to help everyone?
Precisely, yes. Does that open our hearts to help Krishna, to help others and spread Krishna consciousness? Absolutely, yes. This is what it means to be a spiritual master. That in our service to Krishna is to help others become Krishna conscious. In 1975, Srila Prabhupada was speaking in Mayapur. It was in April, and just before the opening of the Krishna Balaram temple. And it was only the second Mayapur festival, and there was a small assembly of about 200 devotees. And he looked out at us. He was speaking on this Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1, verse 13. 13th verse is about Advaita Acharya. Each morning he was speaking about one verse. That book had just been published. So each morning was one class about one verse. So this 13th day of the series, Advaita Acharya, he was talking about what is the meaning of Acharya. Of course, Acharya in general means one who teaches by what? By example. He said 3 things are necessary to be an Acharya. You have to know the philosophy, you have to practice the philosophy, and you have to teach the philosophy. He said it is a very simple thing. Know, practice, and teach. It is not difficult. So then he looked out at us. There were about 200 of us there, mostly with mismatched socks. Most of our first time in India. And he said, so we have how many acharyas in our movement? 10,000? So 10,000 will become 100,000. 100,000 will become 1 million. And 1 million will become 10 million. And there will be no scarcity of acharyas. So this was Srila Prabhupada's vision, that each one teaches 10. In the course of our life, if we teach 10 people and help them become established in Krishna consciousness, then we're meeting our quota, you see. We have struggled with the concept of guru and ISKCON since Srila Prabhupada's departure, because it seems like this big elevated thing, but it's actually meant for everybody. Anyone who can understand, practice, and teach can be a guru, can be an acharya. This was Prabhupada's vision. And we're getting to that gradually. So yes, humility means helping others progress in their spiritual life. You know, materialism means let me put others down so that I'll look good. But spirituality means let me help others progress. And if they progress more than me, then that's my great happiness. Okay, so you'll initiate 10 disciples in this lifetime? Will you be, you're ready to initiate 10 disciples as soon as possible? I'm just saying what Prabhupada said. Okay, that's good. that's all you need to say. I'm willing to do that as Krishna desires. What we don't want to say is this kind of false humility. No, I'm too fallen. No. You see, then that's all about me. I'm so fallen. It's like when two devotees converge on a door sometimes, One will say, Prabhu, please, you go first. No, Prabhu, you go. No, Prabhu, I insist. Prabhu, no, you go. Prabhu, the one who's actually humble will go first. Because he's been told, you go first. Okay, I go first. All right. Any other questions? Yes, Mataji. What is my favorite verse of Bhagavad Gita? Oh. Yanisha sarvabhutanam yasyam jagrati bhutani yasyam bhutani jagrani yanisha pashuto muni. Yeah, that's in chapter 2, the same section, where Krishna says, what is night for all beings is a time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. This is a very beautiful description in a nutshell of spiritual life. As soon as we say, I want to please Krishna, then we have immediately set ourselves apart from nearly everybody. And so we have to expect this is going to be a different path traveled. That has been the experience of my life. And looking back on these last 50 years, it has just been such a wonderful life. When I became brahmachari, my parents were not happy. They could not brag about their son at bridge club. Especially then, it was very strange, very strange. And so I had to live with the fact that I was doing something that my parents very much disapproved. And I did not take conventional tracks in many ways. But then just mystically, everything in my life turned out so nicely, much more nicely than I feel I could have done it if I tried to do it myself. I have a wonderful marriage. My wife and I have been married 42 years. We have always lived in Krishna consciousness, raised our children to the best of our ability as devotees, and somehow or other managed to retire. So I feel like it is a reasonable choice to say, whatever path Krishna takes me, I'm giving my life to his service. But that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of conviction. And it doesn't mean making any drastic change. I happened to learn about Krishna when I was 18 and in a position to do anything I wanted. But if you have a family and you have a career and you have responsibilities, it's not the same thing. But internally, it is the same thing. Now my life is dedicated to you, Krishna. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Manasa deha geha yokichumor arpilun tuapari nandakishore. My home, my wife, my body, everything that I have. Today, my Lord, it is yours. And he goes on to describe, I am the steward, I am the caretaker of your property now. I used to think it was mine, no more. Now I understand it is yours, and I am the caretaker. I'm here to make sure that your properties are nicely cared for. So everything becomes service to you. In this way, the internal perspective changes completely. So yeah, that verse is very dear to me for that reason. There was an American philosopher, Henry David Thoreau, who said, let every person march to the beat of the drummer that they hear, however different or measured it may be. So it's very easy to just go along with the flow of society. And it's difficult to question it. It's much easier to just say, okay, let me just fit in, as opposed to saying, let me question whether what this whole materialistic life and society is pursuing is really worthwhile. Is it really true? Is it based on reality? One of my friends was a psychology major in college. And after his second year, he went to his professor and said, I'm not sure that what we're learning in your class is true. And the professor very candidly said, where in the contract does it say that it's true? I am teaching you what you need to know to earn a living in this field. And many thoughtful people take psychology because they want to understand themselves. Instead of psychology, it's mycology. You know? But the fact is that unless one understands the spirit soul, unless one understands these basic lessons from the Gita, then one is bound to be misled, however successful one may appear to be externally. So, Yanisha Sarvabhutanam means make your inner life a success. And the outer life will take care of itself. Okay, thank you. That's a beautiful question. Srila Prabhupada was once asked, what is your favorite part of Srimad Bhagavatam? And he answered, Dharmasya Hyapavargasya, Narta Upasya Upakalpate. That's Dharma. That's chapter 2 of the first canto, verse number 9. This is a passage in which Shukadev Goswami is answering the initial questions from the sages of Naimisharanya. So that verse particularly says that one who is practicing spiritual life should never do so for financial return. Dharmasya Hyapavargasya. That dharma, spirituality, should not be done for material rewards. However, if in the course of one's spiritual pursuit one gets money, one should just not use it for sense enjoyment. So he considered that, he answered specifically with that verse when asked what's the most important verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. He was, actually, if you read the conversation, he was talking about that whole section. But I always noted that verse, how important it is. And again, it's talking about this balance of inner and outer life. You know, money is not bad. Making money the goal of life is dumb. Right? So this is Yanisha Sarvabhutanam. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions, thoughts? Yes, Prabhu. If you call me Maharaj, my wife will be very upset. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Why did Krishna
Thank you.
had to design like a mind which is so powerful in somebody like me who doesn't know how to use it? It's almost like a nuclear bomb in every human's body. And there is a manual, obviously, like a Gita and Bhagavatam. It's such a big manual to read and understand.
Why are you blaming Krishna for your mind? The mind is the repository of all of the sense enjoyment and all of the materialistic experiences we have ever had. So it's all stored up in the mind. The question is, how do we endure it while it's running its course? If we don't indulge the mind, it will atrophy. You know this word, atrophy, right? It means that you have a muscle, you don't use it, it gets weak. So if we don't exercise the mind, if we don't indulge the mind, it will get weak. But it takes a while. My godbrother Charu Prabhu asked Srila Prabhupada in his quarters privately once. You don't read this in the conversation, but he told me. I said, Srila Prabhupada, once you start chanting, how long does it take to become purified? Prabhupada thought for a moment and said, about 40 years. So that's a long time. And yet, if you look at it, step back a little and see how many lifetimes have we been through in this material world. What is 40 years? The time immemorial is the phrase that's used, which means you really can't even measure when it started. So what is 40 years? Srila Prabhupada said you've had so many lifetimes trying to enjoy your senses. Just one lifetime, give this for Krishna. So if we're giving our hearts to Krishna, whatever the mind may do is of no consequence. It's a disturbance, but it's just a disturbance. That's all. It doesn't stop us. It only stops us if we stop. I have to fix this darn mind. Then the mind's saying, good, I won. You see? So yes, here I am with my rascal mind. Anyway, Krishna, I'm not blaming you for my mind. But I am recognizing that my offering to you is very inadequate because of my mind. Anyway, you have to accept it, because that's all I've got. And this way, with this kind of self-acceptance, then the mind loses its sway. It loses its power over us. Other questions? Other thoughts? Is that all right? Yes, Parbhuji. Could you use the mic, please?
Stand during chanting, there are different phases, and right now, personally, Namaprad phase, which is like just the starting the taste, and then how much wonderful will be if you go to the next level, which is like the Namabhas stage. So what it takes to get there, it says that you should not do anartha, all the stuff there, no offenses, but in day-to-day life, there's so many offenses to avoid, so how can it be done, Prabhuji?
Yes, so the nam-aparad stage is where we're committing offenses, which is curtailing our advancement. And then the nam-bhas stage is where we have some preliminary attachment. Yes. So in between those stages is a long plateau. When we take up Krishna consciousness, many of us experience a kind of a rapid advancement, like a rocket ship pulling out of the Earth's gravity. It takes a lot of energy, and it's very dramatic. But then when it gets in space and it's orbiting, it's just kind of floating there. So in the same way, when we start Krishna consciousness, when we start chanting, there's an immediate relief from material anxiety. It's a powerful experience, and it draws us closer to Krishna. But then Krishna begins vetting us. He begins qualifying us. How deeply do you really want to become my devotee? How important is it to you, really? How determined are you? Because Krishna is rather selective about who gets to enter his entourage, isn't he? So if we go in, if we crash, we think we can crash the party. No, we're going to be asked, where is your invitation? So this is how we become a kinchana gochara, that we give to Krishna, and then we think, okay, that's all right, but I'm not getting enough juice out of it. So should I really be giving to Krishna? And then, no, I'm going to give to Krishna. But should I really be giving? See, this is the mind. Is this really working? Is this good? Are you really good enough to do this? Is this a good use of your time? Do you realize how much money you could be making 2 hours a day doing something else? The mind will just go on and on, right? So powering through that persistently, that is the only way to progress from the stage of offensive chanting to having a taste, even a preliminary taste. Now that taste begins to manifest particularly if we're very regular about our chanting. So there's 24 hours in the day that's divided into 3 sections of 8, or these muhurtas. These sections, 8 is not a muhurta. Anyway, the point is that hours between 2 a.m. and 10 a.m., those are sattvic, those are in the mode of goodness. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., those are rajasic, those are in the mode of passion. And then from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., that is tamasic. See? So the idea is for a yogi to make the most possible use, the best possible use of those sattvic hours, 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. So that, whatever we do at that time, we do better. Right? For example, if you chant during that time, those rounds will be better than chanting last thing at night. Right? We all experience that. In our Krishna House ashram in Gainesville, we have many college students who live there. And we teach the students how to become regular in going to bed early and then rising early. And so this is very contradictory to ordinary college life. And we say it's just like regular college, except the parties are in the morning. but they say, but then what about finals? So finals or midterms, I've got to stay up late, I've got to study. And so we always advise them, no, don't stay up late and study. Take rest during the tamasic hours. You know, you say nothing good happens after 9 p.m. Just take rest and then get up early and then do your studying in the morning. Because whatever you do in the morning, you'll do better. If you chant in the morning, you'll chant better. If you study in the morning, you'll study better. If you sleep in the morning, you'll sleep better. It's just a matter, what is your priority? Right? Okay. Yes, right. I have to just, honestly, I have no taste for chanting. But I do have this, that after years of chanting every morning, when I don't chant in the morning, I feel it. And so chanting in the morning, therefore, it becomes tasty in that respect. I know this, I chant today, this morning, this is going to be a good day today. Yes. Then it becomes, and this is offensive chanting, isn't it? Oh, I have to chant. Right. Okay. Okay, we have time for one more question or topic. Anything? Yes, Prabhu. No, please, so everyone can hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have one quick question. Can you hear me? Yeah. So we know this bhakti process is not a one life process, many life process. And should we, when we do this process, when we go on to follow all the principles and do the service, all regulative principle, but should we think about whether should we enjoy the process and do the service and have happiness, or should we also think about, will we able to please Krishna? Are we pleasing Krishna? Will we able to reach that? Because otherwise, sometime it disappoint also. Are we doing the right progress? Even we are discussing with our spiritual master guru, but we don't know what will happen after we leave this body. Or we should always think, whatever will happen next birth will serve Krishna. I mean, so what should be our inner consciousness? How should we prepare ourselves? That's my question. Thank you.
So, why do you say that we can't go back to Godhead in this lifetime?
We don't know, because we will try follow the process, everything. But what I heard, bhakti is not a one lifetime. Many lifetime we might have followed the process. That's why we are sitting here and still doing the process. We don't know we are still there, qualified that, that Krishna will accept us. Mercy will come to us.
Yes. There's really nothing in the Gita that says that, no, you can't complete your Krishna consciousness in this lifetime. So this is an important point, because we need to have the motivation that we are finishing our business in this lifetime. Many times Srila Prabhupada said this should be our mentality. Finish up your business. Like going in the bathroom, you finish your business and get out as soon as possible. This is the analogy for the material world. Therefore, to think, well, it's going to take me many lifetimes is more or less an excuse to say, so I'll take my time. But why do we want to take our time? See, why do we want to stay? Srila Prabhupada explains that the material energy, Maya, is engaged in a very dear service to Krishna. She is directing all the spirit souls to go back to Krishna indirectly. The good citizen follows the law. The bad citizen also follows the law, but they are coerced to do it in prison. That's our situation. So if we're in prison, being forced to realize that there's no enjoyment separate from Krishna, why should we stay and extend our sentence? Why not just say, okay, I made a mistake, I'm here, what do I need to do to get parole? What do I need to do to get out? That gives our life a great deal of hope. And hope is a result of discipline. If we are disciplined in our chanting and disciplined in our reading and disciplined in our hearing, we will naturally feel hopeful. Vishva Purna Sukhayate. The whole world, therefore, looks happy because this is my last lifetime in it. I have no more of this to experience. End of this lifetime, I will be going to Krishna. And therefore, the whole world looks very hopeful for the devotee. If you'd like a really nice, intimate discussion of this point, there are some wonderful YouTube videos of His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Maharaj speaking. It was released, he made a recording just before he left this world, and then had it released posthumously. And he's just describing, don't worry about me, we're going to a much better kirtan. And he's speaking with such depth. Has anyone heard this video? Let's see this. Oh, it's powerful because there's so much depth and realization. Here's this man in mortal pain, and he is just blissful because he has this gratitude. I'm finished with this life. So that's the best answer I can give to your question. There's no reason to extend the sentence. Only those repeat offenders have to stay in prison longer. For those who are recognizing, I've made a mistake, let me correct it, they get parole. Okay. So that's meant to be a happy answer. And then we don't have to worry how much progress I'm making and not making. I'm just fixed on pleasing Krishna. When I leave this world, that's really up to Krishna. Whether he wants me here, Mama Janmani Janmani Ishwari Bhavatad Bhakti I just want to serve, whether or not Krishna wants me to go back to him or not. Makes no difference, because I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be serving Krishna in this world or in the next world as he desires.
Prabhuji, for devotee, the highest purpose is to come again and again as such.
Not necessarily. It's not the highest. Is it the highest purpose for a devotee to come again and again? Prabhupada said if we're willing to do that, that is pure devotion. But there's no stricture that we're supposed to do that. In fact, he said it is very good to have the motivation, I want to be through with this world. Again, just speaking from my own experience, after having enough travails in this lifetime, I'm ready. And it's a beautiful thing. Every time the disturbance comes, the pain comes, I say, okay, this is a great motivation. We're actually in the same business as Maya. You know that? Maya's business is to purify the conditioned souls, and our business is to purify the conditioned souls. We're in the same business. We're compadres. We're on the same team. We're doing it by teaching, and giving prasadam and chanting, and she's doing it by kicking. Thank you very much. What a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. Nilamadava Prabhu. Nice to be here with all of you. And a beautiful Ishta Day, the Tagora Sundar from 40 years ago. They look so very happy. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think it was just phenomenal, just asking questions, and it was so relevant to all of us, because we all struggle through this, through chanting process, through living our lives with families and everything. And your answers are so akin, just like the depth of knowledge you have, the practice you do, and everything. So we are so grateful you came here, and we're hoping that under your blessings we can get the Krishna house successful, so that we can have many, many wonderful devotees here. Thank you, Prabhuji.